I'll ask Mr. Ahmed Shaheed, how do Pakistan's challenges in protecting its religious minorities, since you have been you are the former UN Rapporteur on freedom of religion and belief, how do you see Pakistan with regard to its GSP plus trade commitments? Because we are lagging far behind in implementing.
Thank you very much for that question. It's a real honor to be here at Asma Jahangir conference. Asma was a good friend of mine, a collaborator within the UN system, also in the Maldives where I come from, also at Geneva on a think tank we both set up. So it's a real honor to be here and speak at this conference. Yes, you are right. GSP does require Pakistan to uphold 27 commitments, agreements on human rights commitments and other things. And if you look at the latest review, you will see that the trend noted in the review from 2 years back is that Pakistan is failing in upholding its commitments, and there are specific elements mentioned in this. So for today's panel conversations, I think the reference to the Ahmadi situation is important. Reference to the other aspects of religious freedom, including Christian situation, is important. The point about structural discrimination that you referred to, Mary, is also important, noted there. So there are, if you like, warning signs in the last review that Pakistan is advised to improve before the next round, which is from one and a half years' time from now. But of course, we should be looking at the GSP as one of many opportunities for us to advocate for better rights in Pakistan. It's only one. And if you look at the GSP reports, they're written by, I would say, civil servants or bureaucrats. Therefore, a lot of the language we speak to empower rights holders is absent from there. So it's important to look at how that can be framed. So today's panel is about politicization of religion. I want to highlight that when you mix religion and politics, the profane and the sacred both corrupt themselves. You can no longer really practice a faith if it has been taken off for political reasons, become something else. Faith teaches from around the world humility, love, compassion, justice, fairness. When you begin to politics, it triggers you to become arrogant, power-seeking, power-hungry, greedy, and corrupt. So you can't actually have the two together. What you get as a result is extremism. In any country where you have religion coming to the public space, then fear driven across society, chilling expression across everybody. You have blasphemy laws put in place just to do that work, and without exception, the weight falls upon the weakest, because what you get is scapegoating. You bring religion to say things will be better, but things don't work better. You blame somebody, find someone to blame. And that's the person who's the weakest, and therefore it's not surprising that here as and elsewhere that the axe falls on the most vulnerable. That's something very important to bear in mind. But let me also reflect on what we can do moving forward. I am very encouraged by this conference. I think events like these that bring together such committed actors here is so important to energize all of us and to draw support from each of us. And that's very vital. At the same time, we should also try to understand what's happening here. So when we speak of religious freedom, people don't really get what's at stake here. Compared to race, for example, if what we heard today was linked to race, well, we know it's apartheid. We call it apartheid. We know it's wrong, and we all rise against it. But religious discrimination, or we find excuses, this and that religion. So if we had to reframe our debates to look at that this actually becoming a racism, as part of how we racialize communities, and therefore to respond in that strong fashion. So very strong reaction against this form of discrimination is very important. And I just also highlight the importance of reliable, objective facts, documented facts, updated regularly, so we have an informed conversation as to what is going here. It's very important. I should reinforce that of being specific. For every community, specificities of what's going on there. We should understand that. Without understand specificities, we can't respond to the needs people have. So it's very important to do that. Equally important, of course, is improving literacy. Very often, well-meaning people wish to bring religion to a public space without realizing what harm they are creating. So I think there should be a broader understanding of the harms that this creates in public life, and also of the religious teachings that actually talk about compassion, brotherhood, and fairness and justice. And you undermine all these values by doing that. So that literacy is important to advance as well, so that we actually question when people hail religion as the answer to everything, when it was supposed to be do that. Third, of course, is that of education, linked to that. Education of everybody, making sure they have access to education and proper resources, because disinformation can really undermine our own efforts as well. Then multi-level engagement. I say this with some humility because I don't really know Pakistan that well, but in other countries, multi-level engagement, the legal sector, parliamentarians, municipal actors, when they come together, they do a little better than the politicians seeking office because municipal actors have a real need making the community work today, work tonight and tomorrow as well. Whereas the politician possibly wants to create division so they can get the vote bank done better next time around. So there is that difference of the levels you mobilize. So multi-level mobilization is very, very, very important. Also build state capacity. Along with the GSP review, EU, among others, many are here today, offer Pakistan aid and others aid here for capacity building. So important to use that aid to build up the legal capacity of the country along with other actors here, society actors, the media and so on and so forth. So there is a, if you like, enhanced capacity here. And finally, I can go on, but finally I want to also highlight the importance of the intermestic links here. Now, Pakistan is a world leader in trying to address the issues Muslims face as minorities outside of Pakistan. Now, that work gets impeded because of what's happening in Pakistan, because people point out to the discrepancy in that. So really, if Pakistan wants to help Muslims living abroad, as I do in the UK, then it must also do better at home. And that means linking up across boundaries of those living abroad, those living here, to see how we can all work together to uplift all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed.